About a mile. Okay.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Town Board Work Session for September 9th, 2019. I'd ask everybody to please turn off cell phones, pagers, electronic devices, and assisted listening devices are available for the hearing impaired. Before we start our public hearings, I'd ask everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd also like to ask everybody for a moment of silent reflection, keeping in your thoughts and prayers all the victims of 9/11, which is 2 days from today.
We'll never forget.
Thank you very much. Donna will start with the public hearing, special use permit and site plan review for the Piva Borrego Solar on Williams Road.
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the Town of Lewiston Town Board, Niagara County, New York, on the 9th day of September 2019, commencing at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall, 1375 Ridge Road, Lewiston, New York, to hear and consider the following property and property owner applicant. The owner applicant is Richard and Adrian Piva, Borrego Solar. Property location is 4352 Williams Road, Ransomville, New York, tax map number 75.00-1-25, Niagara County, New York. To consider application for a special use permit and site plan review for a ground-mounted utility-grade solar energy system on said premises. All interested parties will be heard by the Town of Lewiston Town Board at said public hearing. A full copy of the application is available for review at the Town of Lewiston Building Inspector's office during normal business hours, dated August 26, 2019.
Thank you very much. I have it looks like two people signed up. I'll start with Steve Long. Okay, do you want to speak on the project?
I signed in so that I could speak, but Mark, I work for Borrego, and I hear Lindsay McIntyre from Borrego, and Mark Kenworth.
Okay, do me a favor, just step up to the mic and speak up.
So my name's Steve Long from Borrego Solar, and I signed this all in just in case we had to speak. Lindsay McIntyre from Borrego is here also, and Mark Kenward from Erdman Anthony is our civil engineer on this project, and he's going to do a presentation of the overall project, and then we're here to answer questions.
As an engineer, would you check to see if that mic is on?
It is? You got it? Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're going to have to speak up a little bit.
Okay.
So nobody else you'd like to speak in regards to the Borrego Solar?
No, I'd like to speak at some point, but I just want to make sure that I'm on the list to speak at the end or at any point in time.
The beginning is when we do that. So what would or at the end is the yes. Okay. So in regards to this is for the public hearing, special use permit, and site plan review for the solar farm, Williams Road. Is anybody here to speak in regards to the solar farm?
I'd be happy to give a brief overview.
Sure.
If you would like. I'm not going to use the microphone because I don't think it's on.
It might be up here. I can't tell. Can you hear it in the back, Marty?
I'll yell.
Okay.
I want to use the boards here.
Okay.
And I'll try to direct my comments both to the audience and to the board.
Okay.
The proposed project will construct and operate a 7.2 megawatt DC, 4 megawatt AC, ground-mounted community solar energy system at 4352 Williams Road near the town of Lewiston. The site is located on the west side of the road, approximately 2,250 feet north of Swan Road, and has historically been used as actively filled farmland. What I'm holding here is a map of the overall project site. It encompasses approximately 97.65 acres of land. That's the total project site. The subject parcel has 1,100 feet of frontage on Williams Road and is 3,980 feet deep. The project that will be developed essentially encompasses approximately 28.4 acres of the eastern portion nearest Williams Road. This includes 17.62 acres within the fenced solar array and 0.93 acres of the access driveway to Williams Road and 4.95 acres of tree clearing along the south side of the site, of the solar site itself. Now, as I said, this is basically an overview of the entire project site. We are in this front portion, towards the front here. We're not out at the road, but we're back several hundred feet, primarily in this first two farm fields. This area, this map here is a more detailed map of the development itself on those front two farm fields. Access to the array will be by way of a 20-foot wide crushed stone surface driveway off Williams Road. That's along here. And poles and aerial electrical wires needed for the interconnection with National Grid extend 200 feet into the site from Williams Road along this access driveway down in here. The tree clearing I spoke of is in this area to the south of the arrays themselves. The tree clearing is necessary so that the arrays are not shaded by the sun. It's just most of that is just tree clearing. There's only a narrow strip of tree clearing and strip removal along the access road here. They have a bit of a clear mowable buffer between the tree clearing and the driveway itself. Utility scale projects such as this one are allowed and regulated under the Town of Lewiston's zoning code, chapter 360, article 28, solar energy systems. Utility scale solar like this one being proposed are allowed in rural residential districts as well as industrial zoning districts. This proposed project is in a rural residential zoning district. The proposed site layout has been designed and laid out in accordance with the Town of Lewiston Solar Energy Code section 360-220. Special use permit criteria for a utility scale solar energy system. These requirements include a minimum lot size of 5 acres and a maximum lot area of 100. As I mentioned moments ago, this project is on a 97.65 acre lot. The required minimum front setback is 200 feet, and the proposed Williams Road front setback is 536 feet. The required minimum side setback is 100 feet, and the proposed minimum side setback is 108 feet. The required minimum rear setback is 100 feet, and this proposed rear setback is 1,828 feet. The minimum required setbacks to existing dwellings are as follows. 250 feet to any existing dwelling on the subject parcel. The distance to the landowner's residence is 472 feet. And the setback to any existing dwelling on adjoining property has to be at least 500 feet, and the distance to the nearest dwelling on adjoining lot is 508 feet. The maximum allowed height is 20 feet from grade level, and on this site, the maximum height is 9 feet. Other town code requirements include a decommissioning plan which has been submitted. The construction of the facility is environmentally friendly. Only minor amounts of excavation and grading work is required. Some tree clearing and limited stump grubbing or removal is required. And some minor and limited site regrading is proposed in the area of the 2 equipment pads and for 3 culvert drainage ditch crossings. Upon completion, the site area within the fence will be planted to a meadow grass, and the remainder of the site west of the proposed solar array can still remain in an agricultural use. During construction, the project will generate approximately 50 vehicle trips per day. That's 25 arriving and 25 exiting, and this includes construction-related deliveries and employees. Once the project is in operation, it will generate no discernible noise to neighboring receptors, no adverse glare, and no traffic, and there is also no nighttime site lighting proposed. Maintenance activity is limited to mowing up to 2 times per year and an occasional visit by electrical service technicians. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
You absolutely can.
The service road going in, where is it?
It follows the existing laneway that's there now, the existing unimproved laneway.
Okay, how far from the ditch? Because I spoke with your project manager, and he was looking to move the guardrail.
I think you're referring to the Swan Room project, because our project manager isn't on the site yet. We don't have approval. Yeah. That's the Sloan Road project. That's what it is, yeah.
Mr. Jacoby has a question for you.
In reading through that, I'm certain I misinterpreted it, but is there any battery storage involved in this?
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. Okay.
I got a question on the fire access road will be able to support 75,000 pounds load. This is from the fire inspector. And the road will be maintained throughout the project's lifespan. What is the road? Is it going to be blacktopped or is it?
No, it's going to be surfaced with a very coarse bony crushed stone, kind of like railroad ballast. And they have to use that coarse crushed stone in order to have it count as pervious gravel surface. Now, the thickness of that road will be dependent upon the result of the geotechnical investigation that will follow on after this process is finished and before a building permit is pulled. Steve, you want to speak to that a little more?
Yeah, so we'll do a geotechnical testing out there, and I'll request for them to give us the recommendation for a road thickness that'll support that weight. And that detail will be in the construction drawings for the building.
Who would maintain it though if it's a 25-year lifespan? Or
The owner of the system.
okay.
It will be maintained. They'll come in twice a year, and if any maintenance is required, it's not going to get used much.
No, I know
So
that.
they'll be maintaining it.
Is there a turnaround at the end?
There's a T turnaround.
Yeah, T
Yes.
turnaround.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
The very west end down there, you'll see this turnaround. There's actually a little pull-off turnaround at each equipment pad area.
All right. If I understand correctly, there'll be a vegetation blind on the north side of the project all the way? You're gonna
Pretty much
plant-
existing vegetation, yeah.
But it will be maintained for the life of the project?
It'll be allowed to continue to grow. The only area that will be mowed is the area between the existing vegetation and the fence line. This area here, that's field, and we planted the meadow grass, but there's no vegetation removal proposed on the, down here on the east end of it or the north side. Just limited vegetation along into the woods.
Well, there's wetlands to the south, so there's no potential development there.
Nope.
To the north, there is potential development.
That's the property line to the north.
This property line to the north.
I was under the impression there was going to be a tree blind put in there all the way.
There's none planned because of the existing vegetation that's there now. If this vegetation were to be removed to the property line, there's still vegetation on that south side of the property line. It would seem foolish, it would seem somewhat foolish for someone to develop this property and remove all the screening to that.
Well, Mother Nature has a way of doing things to us that we don't always appreciate. Can we say in there that that would have to be maintained?
Well, here's the problem, I think, from looking at that diagram, it's not on their property, it's on the northern property. So if you look, that's the property line, so if this was to be removed, it'd be removed by the owners to the north. It wouldn't be by them, they couldn't remove that property, correct?
They have no intent to remove that existing vegetation.
Right.
Now,
Yeah, some of it's on there, there's a part
Yeah.
there, but most of it looks like it's north. So like,
I'm trying to anticipate what the future may hold, that if that person has a right to develop their property, and this project is on the south side of it, this project should be responsible for the tree line. As long as, in the future, if it's necessary.
because, well, what you're asking though is I don't think we can require the people to the north to not touch those trees.
No, so that would be, they have the right to do what they want.
Right.
But if they do, or Mother Nature removes all those trees, that leaves that all exposed to future development.
Okay, so what you're saying is we wouldn't have them do it now, but if something in the 25 years happened
Yes.
or occurred, that they'd be responsible for putting some type of a buffer.
The fact that a special use permit is renewable periodically,
Yeah.
when it's renewed, it could be put in as a condition or new condition.
All right, I would like that in the record. And am I correct? I understand there's going to be a chain link fence all the way around.
Yes, it is.
So-
It's enclosed by chain link fence.
Individuals will not have access to it.
Nope.
The animals that get in there are at their own risk. They went under, over.
Yeah. It's not uncommon to find a deer or two stuck inside somewhere.
Well, it's a 7-foot fence.
Yeah.
That's a good jumping deer.
But it's not topped by barbed wire, it's
No,
not in the
no.
dust that we're trying to take away from the.
And there's no webbing in it, it's an open chain
It's
link
an open
fence.
chain link fence, 2-inch mesh.
I noticed that in the packet, there was some concern about previous debris that was left on the property. Would this project clean up all that property?
Well, we were gonna take no action tonight because we wanted to go through our public hearing. So I read it as well, and that's a prerequisite of the planning board.
Okay.
Is what, if that's what you're referring to.
Yes. I was going to ask Bill a question on that. Is there anything that was mentioned at the planning board that we should include as we move forward?
There were a number of conditions that were placed on the project, and they were all written in the letter of the attendee.
Right there.
I-
You have it?
I just wanted, for what happens from time to time is we let those things slip out. We don't add them to the approval. So as we move forward, we want to make sure that we do add them to the approval.
Actually, I wait to.
We know that Chris isn't here tonight, Chris McAuliffe,
Yes.
McAuliffe, yeah.
but it is our understanding that the property owner has been working diligent the past few months to remove those vehicles and whatever is back there. And the understanding we have right now, and I don't mean to be speaking out of turn, it's kind of hearsay, but we understand that he has pulled them out. They're under tents right now, which will be a building permit or issued or soon to be issued for a pole barn to store them in. That's our understanding.
Okay.
And Chris was out there at the end of August to walk the site, and he gave Rick Kiva just a verbal that this is okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
You want to close the public
Move to
hearing?
close the public hearing?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Donna, the public hearing for the local law amendment, Chapter 30 Towers.
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the Town of Lewiston Town Board, Niagara County, New York, on the 9th day of September 2018, commencing at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall, 1375 Ridge Road, Lewiston, New York, to hear and consider a local law amending Chapter 30 Towers to permit the construction of lattice towers. All interested parties will be heard by the Town of Lewiston Town Board at said public hearing. A full text of the proposed local law is available for review at the Town of Lewiston Town Clerk's office during normal business hours, dated August 26th.
Thank you. Nobody signed up, so I'll ask, does anybody have any questions in regards to the local law amendment, Chapter 30 for towers?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. And am I correct, Mr. Seaman, we're going to take no action on either matter tonight?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Agenda approval, we need to add executive session. One is going to be for contract negotiations. Second is going to be consultation with our attorney for possible litigation. And you had 3 others, correct?
There's a couple other topics that are all fall into the category of consultation with counsel. They're all
For
consultation.
possible litigation?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Just consultation with counsel. That's the reason to go into the executive session on the other topics.
Okay, so just so we're clear, there's contract negotiations and there's 4 matters that fall under consultation with the attorney, correct? Yeah. Okay.
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second. Oh, sorry.
I just had that one correspondent to mention the department, from the Department of Environment.
Okay, I'll,
Put that under old business.
I'll just put it under Bill Guyman. Okay. Do we have a motion then, another motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Department head statements. Donna? Anything?
At your last meeting, you approved the Auctions International bids that were received. I
Correct.
received 2 emails from Auctions International stating that one of the bids for number 0111 communication equipment is, the high bidder has,
Withdrawn?
yeah, the high bidder is withdrawn, and the second bidder is offering $310 for the item.
What was
So
the
they're
high,
asking-
what was the high bid?
High bid for $380. So the second bidder is offering $310.
I make a
for
motion,
approval.
we accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, another item, the backup bidder was contacted, and he is not interested either for number 118, Big Sky Shoot Firearms Racks. And that was a bid that was for $21, and even the second bidder is not interested now. They're asking the town if they want it just to be relisted, or what you want to do with it.
Chief, any input on that?
No, it doesn't matter to me, if you wanna relist it, or we can give it away. However, the attorney thinks it'd be best to dispose of the property.
Do they take it? I mean, whatever you wanna do with it.
We have it still.
We have it still?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Can
might
it be
be something
scrapped?
that's been picked
Is it
up.
something that could be
For
scrapped?
$21, I wouldn't
Pardon me?
relist
Is
it.
it something that could be scrapped?
Possibly, it's metal,
Someone local might want it as it is.
or another agency.
Mhm.
So I guess we call it excess equipment, or,
Suggest we do nothing at this time and just wait and see where the chips fall.
okay,
Somebody may want it now.
okay, we'll take no action on
So,
it.
but no to relisting though, because
Yeah,
they'll
no, yeah.
pound me until I
Yeah,
answer.
no.
Okay. very
Should we vote on that to not list it?
You can, yeah, sure.
Okay, can we have a motion not to list it?
Make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion, and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Donna. Is that,
No, my second item, I put the paperwork in front of you. Every year, just about every year, the town of Lewiston purchases recycling bins. The New York State DEC is offering a matching grant for the purchase of recycling bins. So I've been asked by the grant writer to get the town board's approval that you would be willing to match that before she submits the grant. Last year, or at the beginning of this year, we bought 300 bins for $2,787. I mean, we can get up to 600 bins, and for the cost of 300, and we would be set for at least 2 years, maybe even go into 3 years, and not have to purchase them.
Discussion?
let's make a
I'll
motion.
make a motion. Second.
Motion, and a second, discussion?
We've been talking about getting the larger bins.
Mhm.
We've been talking about modern, be able to move ahead with this. From what I understand is, if we do go ahead with the larger bins, people who want the smaller ones can still use the smaller ones, so they won't go to
Yeah.
waste.
Right.
So I think we should move ahead, but keep in mind, we would like to go to the larger bins for less often pickup.
They're $90 a piece,
The larger one?
the large totes.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to find a source for those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have the money for it?
yes. Okay, so we have a motion, and a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Donna, would you let the village know about this grant in case they would like to apply to, they have no bins left.
Okay. All right, that's all I have.
Chief Previtt?
Yes, I spoke with the supervisor, so the board's aware regarding our fingerprint machine. It's electronically transmitted. We transmit all of our arrests, are documented and sent to DCJS. We're having a problem with that. It was bought under a grant a number of years ago, and the state kind of mandated that they were going to take electronic fingerprints only and not ink fingerprints. So because our agency was a more active agency, some of the agencies that had higher arrest numbers, they provided the equipment. Since then, it's about 10 years old. It's failing now. We've been able to kind of patchwork it. I let the supervisor know. It stopped working altogether. I did make arrangements with DCJS to be able to submit our prints in printed form, which they're only going to tolerate for a certain amount of time. It is working right now, so I'm hoping that we can make it through. We met with Jackie during our budget meeting, and she was made aware of it as well. So possibly we might need to do something. If it fails, just so the board's aware, we need to make a decision to do something possibly before the end of the year. If it makes it to the end of the year, maybe we can look at a budgeting issue. We've pursued grants and are trying to pursue grants, and we'll still continue to do that. Somebody from DCGS was supposed to get back to us, and I have not heard back from them yet. I also talked to our grant writer and let her know and made her aware so that she could look into something to see if anything's available along those lines.
And what was the original price of the previous
Yeah,
one?
what's the cost of
I
replacement?
think it was around 10,000.
Right, and that's it, that's.
That's what it is to replace when we first got on the grant, I don't remember what
Okay,
the price was, but to bring it up to speed and to get it where it's functional is around $10,000.
okay.
Steve, could you reach out to our assemblymen and senators, see if they could possibly use members' bill or members' money to get that, or they could connect with Homeland Security to see if we could get something through there?
Sure, and I know we have another resource, but that, I think that submittal date's February, correct? For the other one we discussed for possible grants?
Yes.
Yeah, that's February.
Also, just so the board's aware, we did have an officer that was reassigned. We have a new SRO officer at the Niagara Wheatfield School District, and that is Officer Hall has been assigned
Permanently?
for the year, for this
Okay.
school year. And then we'll have to abide by the contract guidelines to choose for next year if he elects not to stay there.
And, who was there last year?
Officer Rugy.
He's back
was
on-
there for the past 2 years, last
Okay,
year and the year prior.
and he's back on the road?
He's back on the,
Okay.
He's a full-time.
yes.
Yeah,
Chief, do you lose Officer Hall now in your regular patrol then?
Yes, and he's replaced by Officer Rugy, takes his shift, so they just swap.
yeah, okay, very good.
Thank you.
Jackie?
I have two budget revisions to ask the board for approval. The first one is requesting to move a total of $1,764 to the other general government support budget from the A fund contingency. And this is to cover the newly mandated New York State harassment training expenses for all town employees.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
The second revision is to move a total of $1,500 for the traffic control contractual budget from the highway administrative contractual budget, and that's to cover the striping of Bridgeville and Dickersonville roads.
So moved.
Second.
A motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
I just wanted to talk really quickly about our 2020 budget coming up. Through this month of September, all of the department heads are submitting all of their departmental requests. It will be submitted to the town clerk, the tentative budget, by September 30th. And on October 2nd, the town board will be given the tentative budget from the town clerk at a special 4 o'clock meeting that day. On October 17th, we'll have departmental head budget meetings here in town hall.
It's 9 to 4:30.
Correct.
Jackie, would you work with both Al and Rob to coordinate department heads where they may not be able to spend the whole day with us? Because they sometimes want us, particularly have one department they're more interested in.
Certainly.
And we thank them for working and putting money into Social Security for us.
Thank you very much. Bill Conrad, anything? No? Jeff Ritter, you're on the agenda as well with some sewer issues, so anything else to report?
We had previously discussed me wanting to turn the typist designation to a clerical one for the treatment plant.
Clerical 2, you wanted to?
Clerical 2, yeah. The Niagara County Civil Service typist job at the Water Pollution Control Center is evolved into a position with much more responsibility and accountability than the previous years, and it needs to be done at a higher level right now, I think, for as long as that position exists,
Jeff, this person's already doing that work.
without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want a motion? I don't have the.
Well, the motion would be to create the clerical 2 position. Well, we already have the clerical 2 position. will be to set a pay and to make the promotion, because it's a promotional appointment, and
Can we finish the discussion in executive session, just make sure we're clear on the wage, or unless you're...
I think we already did in
We
the
did.
executive session.
we did
This is
resolve
one of the
that.
issues we discussed, and so,
I don't recall what it was.
yeah, it would be clerical 2 at a pay rate of $19.10 an hour, for an annual salary of $39,728.
Effective when?
I believe September 2nd was the date, so it'll be retroactive.
So move.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Steve, that's a
Yeah.
mid-range.
Yes.
to pay.
Yeah, yes, yes.
And it's
That's
not
what
the
we're
very
talking about.
bottom, but it's nowhere near
Right.
the top.
Correct. So, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now, the promotion, you want to tell us who you want to promote to that position, and we'll...
Cheryl Militia, she's already taken the civil service test, just because she wanted to get on another list. I would hate to lose her.
Right, and she is on that, so, Tom, are we okay to make the motion to fill that position with
Yes.
Cheryl? Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that's Cheryl Militia, so,
Thank you.
you're welcome, Jeff, thank you. Dave Train?
Yes, I'm gonna pipe the water pollution control center in front of their property. It's a culvert pipe, and I need an installation fee of $892.50 waived.
So move.
Well, here's my question, Tom. Do we need, it's one department to another department, do we need to actually waive that fee?
The problem was, that was with the state controller, put this in place. That's the reason I'm presenting it to the board.
Yeah, you should waive it.
Okay,
Because one is highway, the other is the municipal.
yeah, okay. I just, yeah, the question was.
I could've charged them more.
That's what I was thinking.
What's the amount?
$892.50.
Make a motion to waive.
You know what I mean? It's more or less a shared service.
Right, right.
That I
Sure it
worked
is.
out with Jeff in the first place.
Right.
So whenever I need equipment or need something, manpower, they supply that and don't charge me. Just because it's an installation fee that was put in by the state.
Right, okay.
Make a motion to waive the $892.50 fee between the highway department and the water treatment plant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That's it? Dan Zano? Nothing? Mike Dashiell?
I just put a sheet with a few different updates on your diet there. Just real quick, we got the Facebook page up, facebook.com/Lewiston Parks and Recreation. I'm just gonna put all of our parks projects and programs on there. We usually use our website, but usually going to our website less and less, so it'll help us reach more people. Update on fall programs. Swimming starts tomorrow at Stella Niagara, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll be going up to December 12th. Lewiston School District is approved our application for June, creating an extended basketball season. Next town board meeting, we're going to do a couple on kids soccer, so just be aware of that. We're still working with Newport on an open gym night. And we're currently working with the library to try to reinstitute our tutoring program, after school homework out. We used to do that a couple of years ago, on a state grant. The state grant dwindled down to nothing, so we kind of terminated the program itself. Working with Newport right now to see if it's still something that we could use. The answer from them is always yes, so, if the money's in the budget for it, we'd like to take a look at it. So hopefully next board meeting, I'll ask you to create a position so we can formally hire somebody into it. That basically that'd be the cost of the program, just the person going, usually a grad student type or, first year teacher, somebody looking to get into the education field that has the background and can help us with that. The third thing on my list is I gave you a list of the parks projects that we're currently working on in different parks. If you go to the parks, you basically see there's a lot of just basically fixing up a lot of the damage that we get over the summer months and the spring months, especially this spring being so wet. We got a late start on everything, so we'll be working right into the fall on flower beds and all the other good stuff. Okay, and we'll post those projects on the Facebook page. I got two things on the agenda for later.
Okay, thank you very much.
Donna, will you put the new website on the marquee out front and add it to your clerk's corner?
Okay, and that'll do it. Abstract approval, Councilman Guyman.
Before I move for approval of the abstract, we had received a late voucher, and we need to have a brief discussion. We have a policy saying that vouchers must be turned in 60 days in regards to mileage and cost by our staff members. This one comes in 6 months past the due date, or 9 months past. And I'm going to suggest that we do pay it for the note to the person that they must follow the policy and turn them in within 60 days, or they will not be reimbursed. So I talked to Barb Joseph, and she suggests that we just put this in the circulation for 2 weeks from now and pay it at that time, as long as the person who is filing late is made aware that they must follow policy. So on that note, unless somebody has anything else to say on that matter, I move to approve the regular abstract of claims number 2,388 to 2,520 and recommend the payment amount of $171,558.35 plus the post audit of $6,704.07. That's a motion.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion carried. Now, real quick, Tom, in regards to this letter, and I think you got it there in front of you. Do we need to make any type of motion on this tonight to get it in the abstract? Because it is in violation of our town policy. We have
Letter with the vouchers.
Yeah, it says, "Dear Supervisor Broderick and members of the board," it's from Les Myers, Chairman of the Bureau of Fire Prevention. So they submitted it for approval. They're looking for us to actually approve it because it is in violation of our policy.
Yeah, I think that you should approve that by motion, if that's what the board wishes to do. But as I understood it, Mr. Guyman was indicating there'd be an action taken in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Well-
just put it in with the vote. But what Steve's saying is it's a violation of our policy. Do we have to say anything?
He's saying just put it in with the next vouchers, but we have to approve it.
I think you should approve it.
Okay,
If that's what you wish to do, I think you should do it by board action, yes.
okay. Can I get a motion?
I make that motion.
Second. Further discussion. We put this policy in and we made it clear what the policy stood for. It was for budgeting issues. What happened is you'd think you had a bunch of money left in a contractual budget, and then at the end of the year, boom, it was gone. It was hard to make a plan. I just want to say that we have to make them aware that policy has to be followed, and in future, we're just not going to pay it.
Right.
So,
Well, we're not finished then. All right, so you're gonna approve, be paid. Are you gonna do it part of the post abstract, or are you gonna do it in 2 weeks?
we're going to do it in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, motion that. So, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to oppose this. So, motion passed. Thank you very much. Approval of the minutes for the regular town board meeting on 8/26.
Move for approval of the regular town board meeting of 8/26/2019.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. Okay. Old business. Niagara County Public Safety Communication Proposed Lease Agreement. There's no change in that right now. So we'll table that again. There'll be no action. The property maintenance, Cherry Lane and Lower River Road. Mike Dashnow, that's under you. Cherry Lane, Lower River, the tree we talked about today?
Yeah, I did not get the 3 quotes quite yet, but I did get 2 verbals. They're gonna be well below anything that we need to bid, create a bid for it. It'll be in our lower end of the procurement policy. So what I would request that approve this tree being removed in accordance with procurement policy, and allotment of up to $1,000. That would cover it. If not, we can wait till the next meeting.
Tom, what's your,
I think that's fine. I think that's
Okay.
fine.
That's in there.
okay,
Make a motion to approve.
Subject to attorney approval of the documentation.
okay. You wanna make that motion?
Yeah, make that motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thanks, Mike.
The tree's not really hidden or obscured at all. It should be a tree we've got.
Good. Okay, thank you very much. Highway fees, we're no action on that? Yeah, there's no action. You want it, at this time, do you want it removed or just leave it under old business?
You can leave it under old business. Right now, we're comparing it with the other contractors to see what process is gonna work the best. And we'll go from there.
Okay. And then the review and approval of the Greenway application for Sanborn Park is gonna be tabled or no action taken. Mike has explained to me that they don't have all the information they need yet, so. Sewer refund, Creek Road.
I believe that this request meets with our town policy, and I would make the request that $68.87 be credited to the account for Linda, I'm sorry, no, not Linda, it's gonna be Melissa, is it Morera? Morera, and the address is 4074 Creek Road.
Second. Is this a new installation?
That's what it indicates.
It's gonna be an active file down there.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So carried.
Mr. Supervisor, with your indulgence.
Yeah.
Kyle, did you submit a letter?
I just talked to Tamara today, she told me to come to this, Tamara McGurley.
Kyle has a similar one, and I thought he was gonna speak at the beginning.
No, for work sessions, it's only speaking at the end, so.
I have a letter with you.
Okay. Sewer request, NRB Properties, we're not gonna take any action. I spoke to Mr. Brott today, and he was not gonna come tonight, and we'll table that, and you can leave that under old business, Donna, sewer request, NRB Properties.
Steve, can we ask a question about that? I
Sure.
read that over, seems like a pretty big, complicated thing.
Yeah, I think we need to sit down with Jeff Ritter and Bob Lannon and talk about it, so. Okay, and I believe we're gonna do that too in executive that was one of the issues in executive session, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, no action. Bill, you wanted, this is where I slotted your,
Yes. We
letter.
received a letter dated August 29th from
You don't have it.
Jason Toth, T-O-T-H, Lieutenant Colonel, Corps of Engineers. And the letter basically says, I'm pleased to announce that Mr. R.D. James, Assistant Secretary of the Army Civil Works, approved the record of decision for the interim waste containment structure, IWCS, operable unit of the Niagara Falls storage site, which is located in Lewiston, New York. The selected method of remedy is excavation, partial treatment, and off-site disposal of the entire contents of the IWCS. That's good news for us to know. What is not included in there is when will the funding be in place and what route will be used to remove it. That'll be future discussion.
Thank you very much. Okay, the reappointment of the assessor. I was informed by our town clerk that this year the assessor's term expires. We have a letter here from Linda Johnson, who, I'll read it. Dear gentlemen, as per the attached email sent to all town, city, and county clerks from Dave Ainge, New York State Department of Taxation and Finance, the 6-year term for all appointed assessors will expire on September 30th, 2019. At this time, I am asking that the town board members reappoint me as the sole assessor for the town and village of Lewiston for the term running from September 30th, 2019 through September 30th, 2025. I welcome the opportunity to meet with you to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for your time and consideration. I will personally make a motion to reappoint Linda Johnson as our town assessor.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Comments? She,
Don't get carried away, she'll want to raise.
no. It's, as everyone's probably aware, it's a pretty thankless job at times. And I think we're lucky to have her.
No question.
Yeah.
That's why I would say-
Congratulations, Linda. Junior accountant part-time update, and this is from Jackie Agnello. Elizabeth Geis, our part-time junior accountant, has accepted a full-time job with a local CPA firm. Her last day with the town will be Friday, September 13th. My intent is to fill the position as quickly as possible. It is a civil service position, so we will proceed as necessary with postings and the eligible hiring list. I will give a brief update on this at the 9/9 town board meeting, and is on the agenda. So anything you want to add to that, Jackie?
No, that was just about what I was going to state, what you know about the position.
Okay, and Liz was fantastic. She really did a good job. She passed her CPA when, about 2 months ago?
Yes.
So we kind of knew we were going to lose her. So we wish her the best, and somebody's very lucky to get her. So I don't think we need to make any motions or anything for that, correct? Okay.
You're gonna reach out to NU or anything to look for somebody?
Well, they have the list.
They do
There's
have
an
a
eligible list.
Oh, okay.
The good thing about a part-time is, you know, I mean, we'll look within the town, but it kind of opens the list up.
Mhm.
And she's a town of Lockport resident, and she was fantastic. So, I mean, we'll definitely look for a Lewiston in person as well, but there's not too many people looking for part-time jobs, so, like that. So, thank you very much. The wastewater treatment plant employee school requirement, Jeff, you want to touch base on that?
Yeah, operator Fortino needs to attend school for wastewater treatment plant operator. Upstate used to have this course, and it's been discontinued because they lost their instructor. The only other place is in Morrisville, which is east of Syracuse. So we waited for a year for them for Upstate to come up with a new instructor, and they haven't been able to get one. And this is holding him back from his top pay. So, and it's needed by the DDC.
Right.
So we've got to send it to Morrisville.
Have you talked to Jackie about the budget?
Not yet.
Okay, and would he go this year or next? Okay, be next year. Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't think we need a motion to send him, do we? You're just advising us that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I know we talked. I mean, you brought it up before to the board. I remember saying you were waiting for something to open up at Upstate.
Contract in the town code, he's got to, be paid to drive. He's going to have to stay in a hotel there for a week at a time.
Mhm.
It's not consecutively. He'll go for a week, come home, and then the next month he'll go for another week. There's one particular course that's going to be 2 weeks long. He'll have to come home on the weekend and then go back. So there's lots of driving, food. There's a hotel associated with this because people from all around the state have got to come here. It's the only place.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Make sure Jackie has it in the budget for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
We're meeting
aware.
later this week for
Okay.
2020.
I've got all the costs.
Okay. I have nothing else on the agenda. Is there anything anybody else had before we move to open statements? Okay. Resident statements, Tom Smith. Tom, let me just remind you that we have litigation with the town. So what you talk about cannot have anything to do with the litigation with the town.
Well, I guess you can't really talk about it in litigation, but I can.
Well, no, not in this public forum at the
Well,
town hall, you
the point
can't.
is this, is a lot of you know who I am. I've known a lot of you my entire life. I've been lied about, maligned in this town, and now the police have a thing in their computer that says I'm a danger. So when they show up at my house, they got their gun ready to pull out, which happened last night, you're in custody. Now what it really comes down to is Chief Previtt is a liar, and I can prove it.
Okay.
Not just in any day.
We're not going to make
He
accusations.
proved it
Tom,
himself.
we're not going to make accusations,
No,
okay?
it's not an accusation.
No,
I can prove it. I
Tom,
can prove it.
if you want to make accusations, you have an open litigation against the town and the
Not-
town's police
not-
department.
Not under this circumstance.
Yeah, well-
This is post of what happened. It was in a deposition. He said I tried to fight him at Tops Express. That puts my life in danger with every other police officer that hears that nonsense story. And not only is it my word against his, I've got the video and the audio of what happened. and he lied, he committed a felony.
Okay.
He's the chief of police. He
Tom.
should be better than that.
That's what we're not here for that, okay?
Well, I was told to tell the town board first before we went anywhere else with it, because you're his boss.
Okay.
So I was told specifically, by people from
Okay.
the Public Integrity Unit,
Okay.
to let you know that he committed a felony, and I want to see if anybody on here wants to sit down and look at all the video and audio that I have in the last so many years, and how corrupt it is, and how,
Okay.
if you're friends with somebody,
Okay, Tom,
you can get out of
I'm gonna cut you off there. Thank you very much, Tom. I appreciate it. Would anybody else like to speak? How you doing? I'm sorry, just state your name.
Sorry.
Yep.
Kyle Hercom, I live at 454 Morgan Drive. I have a packet, can I give it to you guys?
Certainly.
Written letter for you guys?
Thank you.
Well, there's two packets in there. Speak to the microphone when we get there.
If it works. Did you give Tom one?
I did, yes. So I have two requests. I called Tamara McGrossi. I never received my August 1st water bill. I put a pool in. I thought maybe there was some confusion because I thought it was going to be a very high water bill. So I thought maybe there was someone checking it, as well as I just thought maybe we were going to it being billed every three times a year. So I even have it in my phone. I have a reminder in my phone, pay the water bill. Like I even included copies of the past 18 months worth of bills. I always pay my water bill on time. So, excuse me, getting nervous here. I just have a request to pay my normal discounted water bill, not the late fee bill. So that's what the first packet is for. So I don't know if you want me to speak before I go to my second request, or?
Well, we could probably stop you on your second request because that has to go to that man right there, Jeff.
Okay.
Leonard. So whatever you say isn't gonna matter. He's gotta look at it, see if it fits the town code. So if you want, I believe this is all the second packet.
Yep.
Do me a favor, give that to Jeff.
Yep.
And then you don't have to come back for
Okay.
that. We'll notify you at the next town board meeting. And Jeff's gotta look into it, so that, you know, that's the process for that. And that's what we did tonight with that other matter. Any questions? And does anybody have any questions in the first matter?
Are we going to do anything with that tonight?
Well, that's what he's asking for. I mean.
I would ask that, similar to what Mr. Given asked earlier, I will follow the policy from now on, just like that other person who did the reimbursement, and I will never pay a late bill again.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Hercom, and this is why I would vote against it, and I'm just speaking for me personally with that. We have a policy. It's on every bill that not receiving a bill is not forgive any type of fees or payment of the bill. The bills due the same time every year on the same dates, every one. I understand, believe me, I understand because it's not every month. You know when your mortgage is due,
Right.
It's every month.
Right.
This one's every third month, you kind of forget. I've done it before, I understand that. But it is a policy, and we would have.
I have never done it.
I know you haven't,
I even have it on my phone, like, pay August 1st, it's in there.
I appreciate it, but that's my feelings. I'll let anybody else speak on their own personal feelings.
I think what you touched on before is accurate. I think the problem we have is that we had that problem with the post office. When the post office came back, we had several dozen people that had the same issue as you do. And if we start forgiving the fee now, then everybody comes in here who didn't pay it as legitimately as you may not have, and asks for a refund, and we have no way to disprove their claim. I think that's where it becomes a logistical nightmare to try to collect later on.
Now, I will tell you, the town is spending, what, $40,000, pretty much about $40,000 on the water department alone for software.
To try to avoid this.
Where you'll be able to pay it online, you could pay it, where it can either come out of your check, you can pay it, and that's without the convenience fee.
Yep.
If you want to set up a credit card, I think they charge a convenience
$3,
fee.
yeah.
But, and then it'll be rotating, and I can honestly say you'll never miss another payment again.
I
So
can
we're
assure
aware
you.
of the situation, and because of that situation, we are putting quite an investment into it, because it has been a problem. It's been a nightmare for me. And I don't mind talking to anybody about it. It's just one of those situations that we get nothing from the post office.
Right.
And, I mean, we put it in the mail, and the post office didn't deliver it. So we even switched from a perforated card to no perforation because they were ripping. And then after the bills were due, we were getting a stack of letters back in the back from us from the post office. So, I mean, we could take it to a vote, but I'm just saying how I'm doing it. So, I guess I would look for a motion and a second to
Steve,
refund.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some 317.34 is the late.
That's what Tamara McGrossi said my
Okay.
outstanding balance
And
is.
the reduced rate would be 262?
Yes.
And was this when you were filling your new pool? Is that why this amount
Yeah,
is so
part of it
high?
is from we bought a pool in June and filled it, so yes, part of it is from that.
So if we're going to forgive some of the pool.
Maybe we should figure out what that second part is first.
Exactly, and get them
I
some
agree.
sort
Well,
of.
this is what I think, okay? I think we, vote on this.
Yes.
And then if Jeff says it meets the thing, then we reduce the sewer accordingly. I think it's two different matters. So he will get a credit if it fits the bill.
But
No, you're not understanding what he's saying there. You're saying that the bill's high because you filled the pool?
Yeah, but then the corresponding late fee is also high. And do you
Right,
understand what I'm
right.
saying?
Okay,
right?
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Part of the late fees associated with the pool filling.
So is
Okay,
there
well,
some way-
It's not a, yeah.
Well, I'll ask Jeff this, Jeff, if you would take into consideration the late fee that's on top of that sewer relief.
Yeah,
As
this
part of
is,
the forgiveness.
This is a brand new pool.
Brand new, yeah.
Could you get a building permit for it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's something that would be forgiven.
Okay, but let us do the math, and we'll forgive that at the next, if he says it can be forgiven, we'll forgive that at the next board meeting.
Okay.
But for tonight, we'll vote on the 317.34, and then we'll take into account
Yes.
the late fees on that difference.
Like it won't be a huge amount of money, but it'll be something.
Yeah,
That's right, I agree.
appreciate it.
Okay.
And I'd like to have a discussion. Didn't we deny other Lewiston residents the same thing?
Yes. Yeah, we've never
We have.
approved one.
Yeah,
It's
we
kinda-
can't just out and out forgive you for
Right.
not
I thought
paying your bill.
maybe similar to the policy Mr. Godwin was talking about, where
Yeah.
someone did forget, sorry.
Okay.
That was a voucher of a town employee.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Similar reimbursement that was sent in late, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'm trying. I'm
Hold
trying.
on. So can we,
So my only recommendation for the board would be just don't tie it to a number tonight, just make a motion relative to the late fee. And then at the next board meeting, you can make a motion relative to the water bill.
the sewer
And-
relief,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, the sewer bill.
Yeah.
And then it'll, the bookkeeping will fix itself.
Okay.
Just
Well,
don't
would we
tie
not
it to
take
a
any
number
action on this
tonight.
then?
Well,
Makes sense?
yeah.
Just the late
Or
fee
we can
will-
make a motion not to approve it.
Just
Not to
take
approve.
no action at this time till we get a
Right.
report from Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we'll do that. We'll take no action tonight, and then we'll let you know
Do it all next
Okay.
with that, okay?
Would you like me back at the next meeting?
You can come if you want. I mean, I could call you before then and tell you what it is gonna be if you wanna come back.
The good thing about coming back, you get to speak at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Should I pay that bill?
Yes.
Should I pay that bill?
Yes,
The
and you,
three- the
yeah.
317?
Pay it, and then any refund will be on your next bill.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
coming in.
Yes, sir.
I would like the board to reconsider the late fee I paid earlier this year.
Well, according to the same policy, I would have to say no.
I'm just, okay. I'm
Okay,
watching.
well, anybody else have an opinion on that? Okay, thank you, thank you. Would anybody else like to speak? Okay, thank you all for coming. I do not have a list of the future meetings. I
We
know
already gave them on the last.
on the last one, so no changes to
Move to
those.
adjourn into executive session.
Planning board can't do this one.
Okay, planning board's canceled for this one. Everything else, I think, is according to the original schedule, so.
So we need a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of consultation with your attorney as well as to discuss potential future litigation.
And contract negotiations. And we'll be I don't believe we're gonna be taking any action on any of those items.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Mr. Supervisor, you shouldn't mention which contract could open meetings law, you mention which contract.
It's the wastewater treatment plant
Yeah, so underlying
negotiation.
negotiation with this one.
Okay, thank you. So, can I get a motion to move into executive session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everybody, for coming.